Anyway, here is the suspect arrested in Florida after shooting a family in North Carolina. This fucking dude had a basketball roll into his front yard, and he executed the fucking parents of a 6-year-old girl.
Now to the arrest of a North Carolina man who police say opened fire on a 6-year-old neighbor and her parents after a basketball rolled into his yard. Ariel Reshef is here with that. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, Rebecca. That suspect is scheduled to appear in court later today after turning himself in hours away from the crime scene. He could be extradited from Florida to North Carolina to face charges. A sigh of relief for
He shot a 6-year-old and her parents.
Family who says they were targeted by their neighbor over a basketball.
Overnight, the suspect accused of opening fire on his neighbors over a basketball in North Carolina, surrendering in Florida. 24-year-old Robert Louis Singletary allegedly shot a family after a ball several children were playing with rolled into his driveway.
I know we got a 6-year-old, but down the other subject is shot. He's got a single gunshot wound.
Like an insane thing, dude. Look at it. We got a 6-year-old down.
Yes.
William White struck as he tried to deflect gunfire aimed at his 6-year-old daughter, Kinsley.
Why did you shoot my daddy and me?
White still in the hospital. It's the latest in a
Oh, he didn't kill him. Oh, fuck, my bad. I thought
string
he
of
died.
harrowing
Thank
shootings
God.
across the country, raising alarm. Seemingly everyday occurrences turning violent.
For the record, I want to point something out here. This is an everyday occurrence, 100%, and it's been an ongoing issue in the United States of America. The only difference is the media sometimes likes to start focusing on certain things that are happening every day, and that actually creates public support. And I'm glad that they're finally doing that for this. Okay? Shootings like this occur daily in this country, multiple times a fucking day. Okay? There's another aspect of this that is even larger in the iceberg. Mass shootings are only the tip of the iceberg. That's what the media fucking hyper focuses on. But what they don't realize is that there is something beyond that. Okay? There's something beyond that. If we're talking about fucking gun violence in this country, it goes far beyond just mass shootings. Just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more. You got these kinds of fucking disputes. You got road rage incidents. And then you have a massive, massive number of gun fatalities in the form of suicides. Okay? Suicides where people use a gun.
In Texas, a cheerleading squad reeling.
I'm Peyton Washington on Woodlands Elite Generals.
18-year-old Peyton Washington in the ICU in stable condition after one of her teammates, Heather Roth, accidentally got into a car she thought was hers in an Austin area grocery store parking lot.
I just saw like a black figure in the passenger seat and I shut the door as fast as I could.
Authorities say Pedro Rodriguez fired at the girls, one bullet grazing Roth, another seriously wounding Washington. Rodriguez now in custody, charged in the shooting, awaiting a court appearance. Despite the traumatizing ordeal, the athletes preparing to compete in Orlando this weekend, Roth posting on Instagram, "It's not been easy, but we will come out the other side stronger than ever."
And one of Washington's coaches who visited her in the hospital saying she is making good progress even in a short period of time. She seemed to be doing well, but there's still a long way to go. George, of course, we're wishing her the best.
We all are okay, Ariel. Thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stuff.
Yeah. The suspect beat his ex nearly to death with a sledgehammer, was still allowed to be on the streets. That little girl should never been in that situation. How about, why the fuck is this guy allowed to have a gun? Okay? How about that? You know what I mean? Oh, fuck, this is just a video. God damn it, dude. What is wrong with... Oh, that was 2 days ago. Tampa, Florida, a North Carolina man accused of shooting and wounding a 6-year-old girl and her parents after children went to retrieve a basketball that had rolled into his yard, waived extradition during a brief court appearance Friday morning in Florida. Robert Louis Singletary, 24, was arrested in Thursday in Tampa area by the Hillsborough County deputies, according to online jail records. He wore a dark-colored protective vest during the hearing. Singletary replied, "Indeed," when a Hillsborough Circuit Judge, Catherine Catlin, asked if he would sign the waiver to allow officials to take him back to North Carolina. The judge said she would hold another detention hearing if North Carolina officials hadn't picked up Singletary by April 24th. What the fuck? Is this another one? Maine man killed his parents and their friends before firing on motorists, police say. Bowdoin, Maine, a man confessed to killing 4 people, including his parents, and then firing on motorists on a busy interstate highway just days after being released from prison. Police said Wednesday. Mike Sawchuk, commissioner of the Maine Department of Public Safety, called the shootings of 4 people at a home in Bowdoin and 3 more people on Interstate 295 to the south in Yarmouth an attack on the soul of our state that shook neighbors. Law enforcement in the state at large is a shock to everybody, he told reporters in Augusta. You want to naturally say they can't be happening here in Maine. That can't be happening here in Maine. But the reality is these senseless acts can and do happen everywhere. The gunman, Joseph Eaton, 34, had been released April 14th in the Maine Correctional Center in Wynnum, where he was picked up by his mother after completing a sentence for aggravated assault. The crime was serious enough to prevent him from possessing a gun in Maine. Over the past decade, he has been charged with more than half a dozen crimes. The shootings began in the small town of Bowdoin, where 4 people were killed Tuesday, with 3 bodies discovered in a home and 1 in a barn. After Joseph Eaton fled the home, a chaotic scene developed on a highway over 20 miles away in Yarmouth, where shots were fired at moving vehicles. He later told the police he was firing on cars because he thought he was being followed by law enforcement. Several vehicles were hit by gunfire, but 3 people injured were a family all in the same car. Paige Halsey, 25, is in critical condition. The 7 were the latest victims of a mass shooting in the U.S., whose targets included Christian Elementary School in Nashville, Tennessee, a bank in Louisville, Kentucky, and a Sweet 16 party in a small city in Alabama. This is an active investigation with a lot of moving parts, Shannon Moss, state police spokesperson, said Wednesday. The day before shootings, an anguished man believed to be Joseph Eaton posted a roughly 2-minute live video on Facebook criticizing people who he said are Christian and don't give people a second chance. What good does it do to hate somebody, he said, choking back tears on the video. You know it destroys you. On the day he was released from prison, the man believed to be Joseph Eaton posted on Facebook that he was feeling thankful. It's finally over. There are so many people I can't wait to see. It sucks because you see something like this and then you think, oh, why was this man released from prison? He should have never been released from prison. You know what I mean? That's usually how people operate. They don't understand that, like, access to fucking weapons and the carceral system's like lack of interest in rehabilitating people and reintegrating them into society is the main components here, and that these problems will never fucking stop. Every part of this structure is just an abject failure. Okay? Every part of the system is designed to be an abject fucking failure. It's a powder keg. America is a powder keg. And the reality is, it's blowing up left and fucking right. And for some reason, people just don't recognize that. That's, instead of recognizing it, we have decided that, like, no, mass shootings and gun violence is basically like, another part of our existence. It's a natural disaster. It's just like something that we cannot prevent. Over the course of this past week, we covered a story where an old white man shot and luckily didn't kill. An 85-year-old white man shot and luckily did not kill a 16-year-old black boy. We covered a story of an old white man in upstate New York shooting and killing a 20-year-old white lady for the crime, which wasn't even a crime, of like being lost in upstate New York, where there's not a lot of fucking, lighting in the middle of the night. We watched another story of 2 cheerleaders in Texas get shot by a dude, by a Latino dude in Texas for getting into his car on accident, thinking it was a fucking Uber. We watched and covered there was another one. Holy fuck, now I'm forgetting. Jesus Christ. The one that we just looked at. We watched a 24-year-old black dude shoot a white family. Okay, the main component in this regard is not the additional, like when we're talking about Ralph Yarl, the 16-year-old, is not the additional compounding factors of white supremacy or anything like that. The main component to cover in this circumstance is the mass circulation and ease of access to weapons. Okay? Americans are insanely paranoid. They have a hair trigger finger and an arsenal of weapons at their disposal. Okay? Everybody's got access. Everyone's got access to guns. And they are not careful with it at all. They don't have to get the proper training for it. They don't have to implement proper safety measures at their homes. And they are very willing and able to fucking shoot. And the structure itself oftentimes also gives them a lack of accountability that is normally afforded to police, even though that should be a point of contention as well, even though it's not. It's insane. Yeah, and then the Alabama Sweet 16, where 6 kids died, 32 people were injured. Everyone's doing it. White people, black people, Mexican people, everyone, brown people, everyone's fucking doing it. A fucking trans person did a mass shooting. You know what I mean? It's just the most American thing. Seems like there are additional components that we need to be hyper focusing on, but we can't. Yeah. Old Asian dudes are doing it. Everyone. Equal opportunity mass shootings, baby. Land of the free. It's crazy. Were goers of the NRA conference allowed to bring in their guns? Of course not. The NRA conference is a gun-free zone. Anywhere where the president is traveling is a gun-free zone. Don't be crazy now. Obviously not. Because the NRA, regardless of its lobbying efforts, perfectly understands that guns in the hands of random individuals is going to create an unsafe environment. I don't know, man. Apparently, the Louisville shooter left notes revealing part of his goal was to show how easily a mentally ill person can buy a gun. U.S. Sources say this will be normal for a lot of people, it seems. The gunman purchased the AR-15 style rifle 7 days before the April 10th shooting under Kentucky law. He was only required to fill out a form for the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and undergo an FBI records check to ensure he was not a felon or the subject of a court-imposed restraining order. Yeah, that's great. I'm sure that the gun nuts will absolutely love that one, where they'll be like, "Oh, dude, very clearly." Very clearly, this was a psyop, brother. It's going to make all the fucking mentally ill gun perverts lose their minds even further. Great. You watch this yet? Jordan Clipper at the gun show? No, I do want to watch it after this. Hold on. The nature of the notice was first reported in the Daily Mail. Sturgeon was killed by police officers shortly after. While Connor, like many of his contemporaries, had mental health challenges, which we as a family were actively addressing, there were never any warning signs or indications he was capable of this shocking act. The shooter's brain will be examined for chronic traumatic encephalopathy, commonly known as CTE, his father told CNN. Great. Motherfucker had to wear a goddamn helmet when he was playing basketball, brother. Holy shit. The disease has a variety of symptoms. We already know that. Wilt, the injured officer, has been transferred to a new hospital where a specialist is treating his pneumonia. He was listed still in critical condition. On the morning of the shooting, the gunman's mother called 911 and told the operator he was heading to the Old National Bank branch on East Main Street. He had a gun and apparently left a note found by a roommate. I'm so sorry. I'm getting details secondhand. I'm learning about it now. Oh, my Lord, Sturgeon's mother said in a 911 call released by the police. I need your help. He's never hurt anyone. He's really a good kid. We don't even own guns. I don't know where he would have gotten a gun. The call was made at... Yeah, exactly. We don't even own guns. I don't even know where he would have gotten a gun. Well, turns out it's super simple. 7 days before the fucking shooting, he went and got a gun. The call was made at 8:41 a.m. on April 10th, but the shooter was already inside the bank and the police officers are arriving on scene at that point. Even when the cops do the right thing, it's still not enough because it's legislators that are supposed to do the right thing, and they are not. Okay? This is another instance where cops did the absolute best possible thing that you're supposed to do. This is the one area where they are supposed to do violence, okay? And they did the violence, and they stopped the shooting. And yet, 6 people still died, ultimately, because it doesn't matter, because you're supposed to cut the problem before it starts. There are many different ways of solving an issue, okay? There is the reaction, which is done by the cops, okay, which they did a good job on. Dude, he killed a bunch of execs. The articles make it sound like he killed his peers. Dude, shut the fuck up. What do you mean he killed a bunch of execs? Literally, suck my dick. What are you talking about? First of all, that's not even fucking true regardless. Are you insane? What do you mean? You think it's normal to just like walk into a fucking bank and start opening fire on like people that work at the bank? Are you out of your fucking mind? I mean, you must be. You must be insane. These are fucking human beings, man. Are you stupid? Do you know who works in a fucking local bank, dumbass? Do you understand? It's normal people with like a regular 9 to 5. It's 9 to 5ers, you fucking idiot. Dumbasses here literally bank and think these guys are like the Goldman Sachs executives. You fucking idiot. It's in many ways maybe a little bit better paid, but like unless you're a teller, no different than like shooting up a fucking local Walmart. That's so stupid. "65-year-old bank manager is the executive that you're taking down. Good job." That has to be Fed baiting? Yeah, no, 100%. Motherfuckers acting like the dude, the 65-year-old bank manager is Jamie Dimon, dude. Are you justifying this if he actually targeted bank executives? No. Shut the fuck up. I mean, seriously, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Stop. Stop fucking Fed posing in the chat. I'm simply addressing that, like, this person is not only wrong, but also wrong on top of... he's not only wrong on, like, oh, dude, he killed executives, but he's wrong on the fucking facts. Fed posting is when people come into the chat and make it seem like they come into the chat and say some unhinged shit so they can turn around and be like, look, this is the community Hassan has fostered. Okay? Yeah, like they bait for violence or like bait you saying something that would get the FBI to show up. Yeah, it's idiotic. Anyway. Like someone tried to say One was friends with the governor. Oh, dude. Okay. Like, yeah, he really had, the entire fucking state in his palm, in the palm of his hands. That's why, Okay, got it. Who would even know that? Well, Andy Bashir came out and said, one of the people that was executed is my friend. At least 165 mass shootings have already been reported in the U.S. this year, according to data from the Gun Violence Archive, obviously. Anyway, Motorface, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Yeah, this guy fucking worked there, by the way. Like, it was, you can categorize this as like workplace violence, ultimately, which is incredibly common. Dastardly Cupcake, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Anyway, I have I've been here. I've been to this exact show, for the record. Pretty sure. The amount of khaki pant wearing ATF agents in civilian clothing is pretty funny. Like directly outside and inside the venue. I've been to this gun show. It is fucking psychotic. They just sell so much Nazi shit out and about. So much Confederate stuff that is expected. Oh, wait. No, this is in Tulsa. Okay, I went to the one in Oklahoma City. My bad. But, like, it does not shock me to see the Nazi thing because, like, the Oklahoma City one wasn't even that big. And yet they had the exact same vibes. It definitely is a relatively tense situation. Do people recognize you? No, this was many years ago. And also, no, I don't think people would recognize me at an OKC gun show, brother. I don't think that I have a lot of fucking fans who would be at an OKC gun show, especially where they're like selling a bunch of Nazi shit. But that fear always exists because you're just legitimately worried. Like, you're legitimately worried that, I mean, it's a very unsafe environment. I will tell you that. Straight up. I'm not kidding. Like, it was tense. They were selling some funny stuff like technicals. They were not selling any fucking defense measures. No defense against the top of the hour ad break. No fucking $5 a month subscription. No free subscription in the form of a Twitch Prime. None of that, obviously. But, you can still buy one if you would like to avoid the top of the hour ad break, which is coming to you right now. There's a 3-minute ad break at the top of every hour. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Kyle Marks, Dastardly Cupcake, Motorface, and Liz Newby, thank you for the 5 get the subs, allowing 20 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. XD75, thank you for the 5 get the subs as well.
I mean, this isn't where people are going to come to maliciously get guns, mostly.
Why not? What do you mean by that? I think everyone knows what he means by that, right? He means white people come here and buy guns, because in his world, white people are the ones who take the guns and they're gun aficionados. They're not black people who want to do crimes with the guns. It's cool, and it has a lot of customization options, which creates a secondary market for components that you can sell. So that means you can make a lot of money off of it. Okay, that's it. That's literally what this is. Okay, motherfucker said a lot of people use them for day to day. What are you doing with day to day?
For day to.
I mean, yeah, the only thing that I doubt that these motherfuckers have like that much feral hogs. That is a big issue for them. I think they just like found out that that's like good. That's like a decent counter, because notice how they're not saying for home defense. These are guys who actually do own guns and have shot guns for a very long time. This guy said deer, which is bullshit. Okay? Like, imagine hitting a fucking deer with a 5.56. Like, what the fuck are you doing? That's insane. That's bullshit. Many of them said hog hunting because the reason why they do it, or prairie dogs, is because that's fun for them to, like, explode the fucking prairie dogs, brother. You already know. They go kaboom! Shoot them with an AR-15. Them little shits are blowing up. Okay? The only valid usage for an AR-15 would, in that circumstance, be for feral hogs that you want to fucking cull, okay? Invasive species that are there's too many of them, and you need to, like, shoot multiple at the same time or some shit, okay? But it was a meme for the most part. Like, it used to be a fucking meme. The pig man and Ted Nugent shooting hogs with a machine gun from a helicopter, 30 to 50 at a time, used to be a goddamn meme. Now they claim that they need it for that purpose. Dude, I use a 2.23 to hunt deer. 5.56 ain't far off, damn near the same round. Oh, it sounds like one of those gun perverts that you mentioned. Okay. Gun nerds love fucking talking about this shit as though you need an AR-15. You need an AR-15 when you're fucking shooting a deer. That is not the common usage. Okay? That is not the common usage for deer hunting. 5.56 is okay for hunting. A semi-30 round mag isn't. It's illegal to use those calibers for most hunting in Washington State. What if the deer is armed, though? Deer hunters typically use 30, 60, or 7mm rifle rounds, not 5.56. My brother-in-law hunts deer every fucking year. These gun perverts are lying. Go to Schlab with the hog helicopter thing in Texas. I kind of do want to do that. You need a 30-round mag. No, I think part of the reason why people like claim that they deer hunt with an AR-15, I mean, I guess it's because it's like easy to shoot. That's what it is. Right? That's what it is. It's like much easier to shoot than anything else. Zero recoil. These pussies want to fucking use it because, I mean, it's like very little recoil. They suck. They want to use the gun that makes them feel like a big guy. It's kind of like cheating, I guess. It's literally easier to shoot than a fucking handgun. For those of you who are unfamiliar with guns completely, I will tell you, an AR-15 is so easy to shoot that it's easy for children and women to shoot, which is how they market it sometimes, for the record. It's super accurate. It's very easy to fucking shoot. Problem is, it's awful for home defense because, unless you're trying to defend your neighbor's home from your own home, you're gonna go through a bunch of walls. 5.56 is not meant for hunting unless you hunt big game, and even with big, you use something like a 303. If you're hunting deer with a 5.56, you're a psychopath straight up. They literally only use it because it kind of looks like the ones they use in the military. It's not about literally anything else but LARPing. That's what they mean by cool. No, but first of all, as someone who has shot a lot of AR-15s, I do, I understand why they think it's cool. I just don't think that it's good for, I don't think that it's good for hunting, nor is it good for home defense. It's really bad for home defense. Here
in Central Florida. Got the pig field dressed and off to the meat processor. A couple days from now, we'll pick it up and have some good eating. My weapon of choice for this hunt is the Daniel Defense DDM-4 rifle. and a Citron scope. Now there is no shortage of controversy and misconceptions when it comes to the AR-15 class of rifle, including their use for hunting. As you can see from the footage, this combination allowed me to make one perfect shot on that wild hog and drop it in its tracks. And if you ask my opinion, that is the definition of ethical hunting.
Yeah, Daniel Defense, famous for the Uvalde shooting, for the record. You know?
These rifles are designed to minimize recoil and keep
zero recoil, relatively cheap, reliable, okay for, I wouldn't go so far as say reliable, okay for deer hunting if you hit vitals, generally want 30-06 or 308, more tissue damage and knockdown. Yeah, basically a 22 with a ton more power, penetrates everything and travels forever, dangerous in populated areas. This motherfucker is like out of breath, sitting in the back of his pickup truck. What's happening here? Does he sit on a fucking tree stand and just wait with his like optics? He just like, he just sits on a tree stand and it's just like, all right, there's a goddamn hog coming my way. Time to blast it. It's real hunting, brother. It's called easy mode. You hunt hogs from a blind, not a stand. No, the joke I'm making is like the fucking easy mode hunting shit. I mean, look, I don't hunt. I've never hunted. I would be open to it. For sure. But you know, I feel like if you want to utilize the animal for hunting, I don't know how great it is to just blast with AR-15.
Keep you on target, and in case you don't make that perfect shot, the semi-automatic action makes follow-up shots a breeze. The AR-15 and other semi-automatic rifles are perfectly legal here in the state of Florida for hunting. The only condition is you have to drop out the standard 30-round magazine and replace it with a 5-round magazine. This is the same idea as the 2-round limit in your shotgun while you're waterfowl hunting. But if you ask my opinion, this is the right tool for the job and a very good option for a Florida hog hunt. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode of Our Wood Outdoors, be sure to hit the subscribe button down there at the bottom of your screen. My name is Ryan Wood, and we'll see you next time.
Shows the food. It's the same food. It's just like, you know, I got my mom to make it. Joe Rogan only hunts with a bow and arrow. Yeah, I've heard. I know.
The weapon itself doesn't kill the children. It's the person wielding the weapon.
Why do they tend to use that weapon in particular?
Because in media, it's portrayed that way.
Well, no, but in schools, it happens that way.
Dude, it's easily accessible. The entire purpose of a fucking AR-15 is literally to take down multiple moving targets with ease. Anyone that claims that is not the case is a fucking liar. The real reason why a lot of people like it and the real reason why a lot of people use it is because they think it's cool and it looks like a military weapon. Some people will openly admit that. It's the same reason why people consider it to be scary or whatever. But that's the whole purpose of the AR-15. I don't really understand why motherfuckers lie about this. Gun perverts themselves lie about it all the time. It's relatively affordable. You know, they're so mass produced. It's still expensive. An AR-15 is like getting a fucking Gucci bag. It's the Gucci bag for yee ass hogs, for the record. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of those people that are like, hell yeah, brother. Oh, you look at you, pussy. You bought a fucking Gucci purse or whatever the fuck. You bought a Gucci belt. Like, those motherfuckers are also doing the same shit. It's like getting a 3090, you know what I mean? Or getting a 4090. A lot of people forget that just because it's a gun doesn't change the reality that it's still a fucking commodity and that it's a relatively expensive commodity. And it's a hobby. SBR, yeah, it does. What the fuck? Is that real? That makes no sense. What do you mean a smaller AR-15, brother? What the fuck? Hold up now. How is it that they are like marketing a different classification that would be like more dangerous directly to fucking children? It sounds like it does sound like an Onion article. I don't understand the pistol brace loophole. At a gun expo in Las Vegas last January, Eric Schmidt, the founder of WEE1 Tactical, demonstrated his company's first offering, the JR-15, a play on the popular assault rifle AR-15, designed to look like its deadly cousin, but 20% smaller. First of all, kids can use an AR-15. Not that they should, but like they could. The reality is that, it's pretty fucking kid-friendly, unfortunately. So the fact that they made like a smaller version of it, which by the way exists, for the record, it does already exist, and it's like considered like a different classification because of like the length of the barrel, how easily you can hide it, things of that nature. The gun stuff is completely dominated by gun perverts, unfortunately. You can't just be like, let's do a fucking assault weapons ban. I mean, you could, and has been done already, but yeah, it's an AR pistol. Wait, is it an actual gun, not a toy? No. It's chambered in 22 to get him started young with less recoil. No drop down in the front, trying to manage a weight that's not right for them. It just fits them real well. Long guns for kids have been around for years. Typically, shotguns or single-shot rifles scaled down for a child. But what has attracted so much attention to the JR-15? It's semi-automatic action, firing with each pull of the trigger, along with an image of putting a mini assault rifle in the hands of a child in the country where a 6-year-old just shot a teacher in the chest with a handgun legally purchased by his mother.
SHOT Show 2022. I'm here at WE1 Tactical with Eric. Eric is the owner. He's also the idea behind what he's holding right here. So Eric, what is this?
This is the JR-15. So what we have here is a scaled down AR-15 in polymer. It also weighs 2.2 pounds, and it's about a 20%.
Bro, this literally is like if you want to do a mass shooting at your kindergarten, this is what you can use. Like, this is literally... I mean, I'm sorry, bro. This has got to be jailable, dog. You have a fucking bib. What is happening? This is kindergartens. Like, motherfuckers saw kindergartens. It was like, why aren't we in that market, actually?
% reduction in size. So it fits the kids really well, and that'll give them the confidence to hold this thing the way they should have confidence holding. No drop down in the front trying to manage a weight that's not right for them. It's also just great. It just fits them. It fits them really well.
Yeah, and that's, I've got kids. And so they're now 8 and 10, right? And so they both started shooting age 3-ish. I think one of them was just under 3, one of them just over 3.
Wait, what? I think the first gun I ever shot was like 13. It was a 22. And I didn't shoot for a very long time after that. It was at like camp. But this is like 3? What? Yeah, 13, 22 paper targets. Exactly. You know the deal. But like 3? What? Bro, these people are like, yo, them trans folk are grooming our children, brother. Meanwhile, like, this guy is literally, what is he doing? Like, what the fuck? Bro, every time I see some shit like this, I think to myself, you know, what was the fucking Boko Haram Nigerian guy's name? Joseph Kony. Just the most misunderstood man on the planet, dude. Joseph Kony was a victim of white supremacist racism. The fact that he is doing or was doing the same shit that this guy is doing with no scrutiny. As a matter of fact, these guys are cheering him on. It's crazy. Okay? Oh, all of a sudden, it's a child soldiers are a problem. Child soldiers are a problem when a dude in Nigeria does it. Was it in Uganda? I thought it was in. Oh, Boko Haram was in Nigeria. All right. Damn, that's an old ass reference. I'm fucking up. Wait, Kony was in Uganda? My bad. Fucked up. Anyway, see, I'm still disrespecting the man. Okay? Notice how I just still disrespected the man? You know? It's because it's racism.
One of them just over 3, but they've been shooting for as long as I could have guns around, right?
That's awesome, Barrett.
And it's because, you know, they have the interest. They started asking the questions, and I'm a huge believer in we got to provide the education. Got to teach them about the dangers and the risks, but we all...
Motherfuckers are like, my teenager can't know what gender they are, but they certainly knew at the age of 3 that they wanted to shoot a gun. Yeah, that's a red flag, dog. That means that, like, you have too many guns around them. You definitely shouldn't have a 3-year-old be like, can I shoot that gun, daddy? I mean, the reality is a lot of these guys who do this kind of thing end up getting shot in the fucking head by their kids who don't know any better. Because they're fucking 3. Yeah, leave the guns out, open, you know, and kids will think that they're a fucking toy. You know, they will try to gain access to the gun safe no matter what you do. You know, you create this fucking weird gun culture, you're going to get shot. Straight up. That's what's going to end up happening to you. So have fun with that, you know? Have fun eating everything out of a fucking straw because your child shot you in the head.
You also have to educate them and take away that curiosity. But one of the biggest challenges is guns aren't made, you know, for a 5-year-old to be able to shoot. They're made for adults typically. And so when I came by and saw this yesterday, it excites me because a lot of the struggles are going to be the length of pull, the distance from the back plate, right, to the trigger. Is going to be very hard to put an adult gun in someone's hand that isn't an adult and they cannot reach it. And so I like this. And it's like you said, the weight of it, right? You run into the problems where they are front end heavy, where I take my kids out all the time shooting, but most of what they do has to be done from the bench because they can't support the weight of a firearm. And
Correct.
So this is a 22 long rifle. It is super light. So
he's not trolling. He's not, chat. He is not trolling. He's not trolling. This is how gun nuts are.
2 pounds.
2.2 pounds.
So 2.2 pounds, you know, add a red dot optic or something like that to it, you're adding a few more ounces.
Yeah, the only thing to scale, Barrett, is the rail and the M-lock. So
right.
They can pickpocket all dad's extra furniture laying around.
Oh, look at that. So yes, exactly. So this, I can take my other stuff and put it on here. We wanted to accessorize it for them, you know, for the excitement, that kind of stuff. So one of the features that's a little bit different on this than a standard AR-15 is the safety design. So tell us a little bit about that. What is different about it?
Sure. So when we set out to have to produce a small firearm for children in an AR-looking package, we were pretty sure we needed to have a wow factor in the safety area.
The words that came out of this dude's mouth is so funny. Dude, America is so insane. Like, This man just said when we were designing an AR for a small child. Brother, I got to run it back. Hold on. I mean, come on now.
We were pretty sure we needed to have a wow factor in the safety. When we set out to have to produce a small firearm for children in an AR-looking package.
When we set out to produce a small firearm for children in an AR-looking package.
We were pretty sure we needed to have a wow factor in the safety area, right? So what happened?
Show me that you secretly think you're totally pathetic without telling me you think you're totally pathetic, i.e. play around with guns like they're little toys. It just doesn't make any sense to me why anyone will be like, no, like a small child should be able to also experience the wonderful joys of shooting a fucking AR-15.
We had the idea. My brother-in-law actually said, what about something like a pill bottle? And I said, let me go to work on that. Paper napkins, a couple notebooks, and here we are with a patented tamper-resistant safety. And how it works is the adult would put it into fire or safe, roll the gun over when we're done shooting, pull it out, rotate it, 180 degrees, drop it back in, and now the safety is locked out. You literally cannot.
Right, and that's it. You can't turn that. And that's something I was looking at yesterday. And actually, it takes a lot of tension to be able to pull that out.
It sure does. Little kids are not going to be able to do that. And we also left it kind of blacked out and nondescript, so kids wouldn't really figure it out too fast. But your 12-year-olds are going to unlock it really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not a replacement. You still have to prevent unauthorized access. But when you're at the gun range and you're ready for them not to be using the firearm at that moment, it adds one more additional control to reduce that risk.
Absolutely, and we believe that makes us the safest child's platform to learn on.
It comes with a single round magazine.
Right, that's the rinse and repeat factor. So we want the kids to rinse and repeat, go through the whole thing over and over again, get the dexterity, get that mental memory.
Yeah, absolutely. So they learn how to do it, but yet we're still able to keep that risk just a little bit lower, where you don't have to worry about a 5-year-old doing a mag dump or something right now, right? So it's reduced down to one round in the magazine.
Why not, brother? Sounds a lot like you pussy-ass libs don't want a 5-year-old to fucking mag dump. Not my 5-year-old. You fucking assholes. Is this a bit? None of this is a bit. Please understand, it's not a bit. It's America. It's not a bit. Totally reasonable for you to think it is. It's just America. This is the reasonable, logical conclusion of having the Second Amendment and your personal understanding of the Second Amendment.
Magazine, but as their skills evolve, then you've got the higher capacity magazine. So you've got a 5-round and
5
a 10
round,
round.
10 round, 15 round. We've got people pushing us to make a 20 round as well. So
awesome.
Probably be coming.
And I was by here yesterday. I know one of my questions, probably one of your questions as well, is what about the threaded option? And so I've heard that comes up a lot, right?
Yes, it does. So what we thought about, we've got all kinds of ideas from the SHOT Show, of course, but we're talking about having a brace on the back end, and we're talking about leaving the tube off, and actually we believe a dead air, little cameo for dead air, but might go right inside and twist in.
Okay.
Hang out the part just about there, so we can get a can on it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that this fits where it needs to fit, right? For those of y'all that are out there, you're looking for something to be able to educate the young kids on, to teach them about firearm safety and remove some of that curiosity, I think you'll find that this is a good fit for that. So Eric, I appreciate you taking the time to tell us about it. Again, SHOT Show.
Yeah, a suppressor, baby. What do you mean? It's for ear safety. Huh. You liptards don't know what a suppressor does. It's always like dumbasses that are like, guess what? Suppressors are never utilized in a crime. Okay? Yeah, no shit, because you need to pay extra fucking money, and there's way more. Yeah, you're literally like trying to eviscerate further gun control while simultaneously pointing to a great example of gun control working. Okay? Whenever I see another dumbass gun pervert on the timeline be like, brother, suppressors are actually for ear safety, okay? It doesn't actually suppress, okay? It doesn't actually suppress and quiet down the shot in the same way that you think it does in movies. Like, yeah, I know. Okay? You would have to need a suppressor with subsonic rounds on top of that to get to that level of quiet that you need. You lip dart suppressors are for hiding the red dot on the minimap? Wait, no, that actually is true though. Like in the real world, suppressors, they claim it's for ear safety because it like is supposed to lower the sound. It's supposed to dampen the sound. But what it actually does is not fully dampen the sound because the gunshot is very loud regardless. But it will make it much harder for you to figure out where the gunshot is coming from. Lowers the muzzle flash. It suppresses some of the gunshot. Like the sound of the gunshot. And also, if you pair it up with subsonic rounds, you know, you are definitely... I mean, if you use subsonic rounds, they can be hearing safe, but it's not recommended to shoot without ear protection. Yeah. Ultimately, though, it just basically hides where the shot is coming from. That's it.
Go 2022, Eric with We Won Tactical.
That's cool, man. I love this. The JR-15 is real. I thought it was a joke. America never ceases to surprise me. You mean what? You mean hides where the shot's coming from? It's obviously still coming from the gun? My friend. Like hide as in you can't hear exactly where the gunshot's coming from and you can't see a muzzle flash. Do you think video games are the same as real life? Like, you think you automatically know which direction you've been shot from? Because, like, it shows up on the minimap or something? Or it shows up on your fucking, on your HUD? In the real world, you don't know which direction gunfire is coming from. And you need to understand that by, like, hearing. Seeing a muzzle flash. That kind of thing.
At the industry trade show.
Love that. My man hit the nuclear bomb and said, but.
Damn, this guy's good.